Hi everyone, this is the video for Libra Rising. So, Libra is ruled by the planet Venus and it's symbolized by the image of scales. So, in terms of appearance, people that have Libra Rising have something about them, or their appearance overall is quite attractive, is quite smooth, and women with Libra Rising are usually very beautiful women. They often have fine hair and silky kind of hair, and their facial features are very smooth and balanced, so there's a sense of symmetry and balance and prettiness. Men with Libra Rising will often be quite, maybe the pretty boy, or quite charming and good looking. In terms of their behaviour and the way they move about in the world, Libra Rising people are very polite. They're very aware of social graces, and they're very aware of other people. So they're aware of the moods of others, and where other people are coming from, and relating to people in that way. So they are very good at relating with other people because they like to understand other people, and in a way that is quite gracious and quite sweet-natured. So other things that I can tell you about Libra Rising people would be that they don't like conflict. They really value harmony. Now, it's interesting because even though they value harmony, they may find that they have a lot of conflicts in relationships with others. The reason for that is because they value harmony so much, so they often try to avoid conflicts, and in avoiding those conflicts they can sometimes create more conflicts because they won't take a side, or they won't really say what they truly feel. They just want to keep things on that even level, thinking of the scales being balanced. So this can be problematic for people that they're in a relationship with if they don't stand up for the person that they're in a relationship with, if there's a situation that calls for it. So they do find there's a lot of conflict in their lives when it comes to their relationships, and they can tend to not take sides and not want to take sides because they're just wanting harmony at all costs. So that can be a bit of an issue sometimes. In other ways, they try to keep everything harmonious. So in a family situation, say if a parent has Libra Rising, they would be the parent that tries to look after everyone's needs and keep everything flowing smoothly, and just balance and harmony. So there's that. What else? As I said, they're polite, and they, you might recognize a Libra Rising person by their, charming looks, their sense of dress. So they're usually very well dressed and have a taste for fashion, and can pull off probably any of the latest trends, and they have a nice sense of style about them that is pleasing to look at. And they will speak their mind, but they will do it in a balanced way. So they might think about what they're going to say in regards to the other person, or almost preempting the other person's reaction and sort of modifying what they say so that they don't cause waves. In the positive sense, they are very good mediators because they can see both sides to a situation. So if there's a conflict, they can really identify with one person, they can identify with the other person, and they can sometimes find a good compromise for the situation. Being ruled by Venus, they enjoy beauty and luxury items, and they might enjoy shopping and buying beautiful things. Usually these things will be around fashion, like clothing, accessories, things that make them feel good about themselves. They make great hosts because they know how to look after other people's needs, and they know how to be a pleasing communicator, and smooth the waves if there's any difficulties. Another side of Libra Rising is that they can be shy. So they're not someone that's really outspoken or really boisterous or anything like that, but they tend to be attracted to people that are really strong or more active assertive types, so they tend to be attracted to their sort of opposite there. And just trying to think what else. It's an air sign, so it's, you know, got that sort of a little bit of a detachment, an air of detachment around it. Another thing about Libra rising people is they are often looking for a relationship. Relationship is very much on their mind, probably a lot of the time. They are definitely, you know, the type of person that's seeking their soulmate in this lifetime, or seeking, you know, a marriage partner or a permanent, you know, long-term relationship. They might be like a serial monogamous, you know, they're the type of person that prefers to be in a relationship because they prefer to share their experiences of life with somebody else. They can enjoy their lives on their own, but it's always in their mind that, oh, this would be so nice to share this experience with somebody else. It's like the enjoyment of life is doubled for them when they can share it with somebody that they really connect with. You know, in terms of the dark side of Libra rising, I would say that, you know, most of the time, look, they are very polite and they're very gracious, and they understand social niceties and things like that, and they go out of their way to be polite with people. But sometimes, you know, they can get frustrated because they feel that other people press their buttons or are stirring them or want conflict, and then, you know, they can snap and be quite rude, or you know, if they get fed up with a person's situation, they can be quite rude and kind of get to the point where they just have had enough, and they just kind of throw their hands in the air and say, you know, I'm tired of this, or they just kind of reach their limit. Because they are generally very tolerant people, they can sometimes get to a point where they feel like their tolerance has kind of run out. So yeah, there's that as well. They might be interested in something to do with creativity or the arts, or you know, cooking, or anything that relates to Venusian interests. So they could gravitate towards things where they do interact with people as part of their job, or you know, they're always in some kind of social situations. It's a very, you know, it's very people oriented. They always need to reflect themselves against the other person to learn about themselves. So they learn, you know, most of what they learn through relationships with other people. And just one thing that I'll just add before I finish is with people that have strong Libra in their chart, they can suffer from low self-esteem or have confidence issues because they're always looking for that approval from the other person. So they need to learn to value themselves for who they really are, without allowing, you know, the changing opinions of other people or the different opinions of other people to define who they are. So yeah, they need to just be content in themselves as well. So like the shadow of Libra is Aries, so they need to find that inner strength in themselves and be okay with that, not always be sort of suffering because of other people, or feel like they have to suffer because of other people. In a sense, it's like, you know, they can feel good about themselves and deal with other people and difficulties or conflicts in relationships as they come up, but not always be fixated with harmony and tit for tat sort of mentality. Okay, so that's the video for Libra Rising. If you have any comments, questions, I'm sure I've missed something out there. It feels like I have, but if you're a Libra Rising and would like to share, please do. Or if you know someone with Libra Rising, please comment. Would love to hear from you. Thanks for watching, everyone.